Hi, I'm Heidi Toby, Vice President of Social Work Programs at Therapist Development Center. If you're a first-time viewer and looking to pass your social work or MFT licensing exam, or are just interested in topics relevant to clinical social work and psychotherapy, you've come to the right place. If you like it, be sure to subscribe for updates. You can also sign up for our complete LMSW, LCSW, and MFT exam prep programs by going to our website at therapistdevelopmentcenter.com or click on our logo. On our website, you'll also find a library of ACE-approved continuing education courses to support your license renewal. ASWB Exam Prep, Domestic Violence Updates. If you've taken any of the ASWB social work exams, you've probably seen a number of questions on domestic violence. Because of this, we've made some awesome domestic violence updates in our programs. These updates will show up in both our LMSW exam prep and our LCSW exam prep programs. These questions can be challenging because there are so many possible correct answers, and which answer is correct depends on a number of factors. What's happening in the scenario? Which answer options are available for this question? What type of question is it? First, next, best, most, must, should? As a coach, I receive multiple emails each week around these domestic violence situations. While they're very nuanced, the good news is that there are very specific ways the test wants you to go about answering these, which brings me to some exciting news. We have recently made significant updates to our domestic violence quick study. We've added in a thorough breakdown of the mindset and reasoning behind these questions. If you're a current customer, check out our updated domestic violence quick study in Step 3. And if you haven't signed up for one of our ASWB exam prep programs yet, be sure to check out our real customer testimonials on our website. ASWB Domestic Violence Updates Practice Question. A social worker meets with a client at a domestic violence shelter who has spent the past week at the shelter with her 2 young children. During the session, the client shares that her spouse has probably cooled down by now and that she plans to return home that day. While safety planning, the client assures the social worker that the kids are not being impacted by this because they are never in the same room where the violence occurs. What should the social worker do? A. Accept the client's decision. B. Inform the client that a CPS report needs to be made. C. Provide psychoeducation on the impact of domestic violence on children. D. Encourage the client to stay another night at the shelter. The correct answer is C. To provide psychoeducation on the impact of domestic violence on children. Even when children are not physically impacted by domestic violence, they are still impacted. Sharing information on this is important, given that the client has indicated they are not impacted by the domestic violence because they aren't in the same room. This suggests the client is missing information about the impact of domestic violence on children. A is incorrect because while we may ultimately do this, it isn't the next thing that we would do. It ignores what the client has just said about the kids not being impacted. B is incorrect because on this national exam, we don't report domestic violence unless the children are being physically harmed or neglected, and there's no reason to do D at this time. In case you couldn't tell, I'm really excited for the updates that we made to our domestic violence quick study. Just this week, I pointed a customer to this update. They responded excitedly, telling me this answered every question they had on the topic. The great thing about TDC is that even if you still have questions, that's okay. Every TDC customer has a coach they can email anytime they have questions as they go through the program, and I love receiving your questions. I use TDC to pass both of my social work exams, and I'm excited to help you pass with confidence. If you haven't signed up for one of our programs, I encourage you to connect with a coach today. And if you're already signed up, be sure to reach out to your coach with any questions. You can reach out to them directly through the Ask a Coach form in your study center. If you're already licensed, be sure to check out our continually growing library of continuing education courses. So many of our customers who pass their exams tell us our exam prep made them better therapists. We didn't want this to end with exam prep, so we've been working hard on expanding our CE offerings. Like our exam prep, they're informative, engaging, and practical.